Chairman. I would like to present this objection concerning capsicum. And of course, you're all aware of the substance cayenne pepper. There was a request on the part of a business to use this component in order to repel wild boar. We know that the 27 representatives in council have also rejected this, but for us, we feel that it's absolutely unacceptable that we cannot take this possibility to delay the decision concerning an animal disease, which would be swine flu. And this is very important for all the sector of pork meat. There has been a proliferation of wild boar in various provinces in France and in other areas of the Mediterranean areas, even in Belgium and in the north of France. So in our view, this is unacceptable. Capsaicin is a concentration which is generally acceptable. So as things stand at present, there's a question of trying to keep these animals within their natural habitat and using a natural deterrent. And the EU has taken a commitment to go down that route and to support that rather than anything which is chemical or toxic. So I would like you to vote in favour of this objection, and I'll be very impatient to see what will happen and listen to any arguments you might have in favour.
So we can move to Frédéric Rist pour des amendements subtils, des arguments subtils.
J'allais effectivement enchaîner avec.
Mr. Rist, I'm sorry, but we won't be following the recommendations which are against authorization for the substance to deter wild boar. I have heard what Mrs. Milan has said, and I do agree with her partly. However, for the moment, we don't have any hard facts about the effects of capsaicin at those concentrations in the environment and as regards the fauna. Another target that we are worrying about is pollinators. They are very fragile, so we're not really sure the effects of capsaicin there. We know that there is carcinogenic effects, and that's why there has been a decision to reject the authorization. Thank you very much.
For ECR, Alexander Vondra.
Yeah, now it should be allowed. So, yes, thank you very much. We, as the ECR, oppose this objection motion. The implementing measure was adopted by unanimity in the Standing Committee on Plants, Animal Food in October last year, and we see no reason not to reiterate their conclusion. Mrs. Merlin's argument that the Commission should authorize a low-risk natural product already approved for the food use at the misconstructs and oversimplifies the terms of legislation. This objection concerns a basic substance approval. Such approvals are for an undefined period, and therefore stricter criteria must apply then for regular active substances which are subject of regular reviews. Moreover, the market approval application concerns a different substance than that approved as a feed and food additive. We also believe that the Commission is right to flag the genotoxic potential of capsaicin under this specific application. EFSA concludes that a risk assessment would be needed for birds, mammals, aquatic organisms, bees, etc., when the substance is used as a seed treatment as intended in the approval application as a basic substance. But it summarized that we oppose this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't have any more speakers from the Parliament, so I give the floor to the Commission and Mr. Behrendt.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I apologize, I just joined only a few minutes ago because I wasn't aware that you are ahead of schedule, but I heard the final words of Mr. Vondra. And of course, I've seen the draft resolution from Ms. Miller. Maybe allow me to just highlight a few main points that I wanted to make. One of them was already mentioned by Mr. Vondra, the identity of the substance under discussion. Ms. Miller is unfortunately wrong in assuming that the application for the substance or the substance as basic substance in the dossier submitted is the same as the feed and food additive. It is not. For the use in food and feed, EFSA has made it clear that the content in the component capsaicin must be very low because of its genotoxic potential, whereas the substance for which the application for approval was submitted actually refers to capsaicin as a decisive component for the action, the pungency in particular, whilst it didn't even specify exactly how high the content in capsaicin is. The production methods are different. The way the extract from the peppers is prepared is different, and hence the chemical composition and the ingredients contained are very different. Therefore, the reference to the use in food and feed or in medicinal products as specified in the resolution is not really relevant. And then, as noted by Mr. Vondra, even if it was the same substance approved for food and feed, we also have to look at the environmental impacts, and here EFSA clearly found that the intended use as seed treatment would have required an assessment to be conducted for the non-target species, impacts on birds, mammals, and so forth, and hence also on biodiversity. So, in summary, the conditions for the approval as a basic substance are clearly not met, and the Parliament is usually also highly vigilant when we present approval decisions or renewal of approval decisions that refer to hazardous substances. So in this case, it's clearly not possible. In particular, as mentioned by Mr. Vondra, the requirements for basic substances are even stricter than for regular active substances. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. So we are going to vote as well on the objection tomorrow, and then if needed, we go to the plenary. I stop the meeting there, and we will be back together at 4:45 for